All right, fellow connoisseurs of the slice of life, let's dive into the mind of our favorite loner, the man who gives new meaning to social distancing, Hikigaya Hachiman. Today we're exploring the thin, razor-sharp line he walks between realism and cynicism. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever fuels your deep thoughts, because we're about to get philosophical. Hikigaya Hachiman, the guy who looks at the world through a lens darker than your favorite emo lyrics. But is he just a cynic, or is there something more to this guy? Let's break it down. First off, Hachiman's realism comes from a place of experience. He's been burned before, and he knows how the game is played. He doesn't just see the glass as half empty. He's already predicting who's going to spill it and how it'll ruin the carpet. This isn't just negativity, it's self-preservation. But where does this realism end and cynicism begin? Hachiman's realism makes him brutally honest, especially with himself. He sees the world as it is, messy, imperfect, and full of people with ulterior motives. In his mind, the best way to avoid disappointment is to expect the worst. Classic defense mechanism, right? But it's more than that. Hachiman doesn't just brace himself for impact. He anticipates every possible outcome, calculating the least painful path. That's not cynicism, it's strategy. Now let's talk cynicism. Hachiman's got this reputation for being the ultimate pessimist. He sees through people's fake smiles and calls out their nonsense without blinking. But here's the kicker. His cynicism is really a mask, a well-crafted one. It's his way of keeping people at arm's length, of staying in control. By pretending not to care, Hachiman avoids getting hurt. But deep down, this guy cares more than he'd ever admit. Look at how he handles the service club's problems. He always finds a solution, but it's never the clean, happy ending you'd expect. Why? Because Hachiman knows that life isn't a fairy tale. But does that make him a cynic? Or just someone who's tired of pretending everything's fine? He's not cynical because he's given up on people. He's cynical because he understands them too well. But here's the thing. Hachiman's philosophy isn't about giving up. It's about facing reality head-on, no matter how ugly it gets. And sometimes that requires a little cynicism. Not because he believes people are inherently bad, but because he knows that they're complicated. Just like him. In the end, Hachiman's realism and cynicism are two sides of the same coin. They protect him, but they also define him. He's a guy who doesn't believe in sugarcoating the truth, but he's also someone who quietly hopes for something better, even if he won't admit it. And that, my friends, is what makes Hachiman such a compelling character. He's not just a pessimist, he's a realist with a heart, and that's a combination you don't see every day. So, is Hikigaya Hachiman a cynic or a realist? Maybe he's a bit of both. But whatever he is, he's someone who teaches us that it's okay to be skeptical, as long as you don't lose sight of what really matters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hachiman's psyche, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is Hachiman too cynical or just painfully honest? Until next time, stay real, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes the most brutal truths lead to the most meaningful connections.